Hello, welcome to the theElpyDimension. I'm your guide, Elpy. Let's see how fast we can be. I was just recording my first check-in after 6 days to the brand new blue worm bin. Go check out that video. Today is the 24th of September. It is a Tuesday, 2024. And we are checking in to the was called European Nightcrawler bin number 2, and now it's mixed worm bin number 4. So it's been 7 days since we last checked in here. This bin has been completely harvested. So this is all new material. Check my blue worm bin and hear my discussion about a comment someone left for me regarding this being too much paper, essentially because it's too much because paper is inert and has no nutrition, and it's essentially an anemic diet and too high of a carbon ratio, which I think those are all great points, and I do believe that for the most part that's all true. However, my issue is I am, and yes, there is truth in that if you're feeding your worms, a lot of their diet is non-nutritious stuff. Paper, cardboard, they're saying is more nutritious, which I would believe. I do feed them a lot of food scraps. I still believe, however, that this is not, by the time this is castings that I put into my garden, I don't think that it is inert. It has the microbes. It has the bacteria from the worms, from passing through the worms, and also just from the life of the bin and the process of decomposition. So that being said, my mission, purpose with my bins is to recycle and upcycle. Recycle biodegradable things like paper and cardboard and whatnot, and upcycle food waste. So I don't want to spend money on bedding for the worms. So I am interested in finding more organic things that I can add to the bins without making this less efficient for me. By less, I mean, it's also a hobby for me. So the time that I spend going through the worm bins is also because I enjoy it. But I've done it before. I didn't do it last year, but I will be adding mulched shredded leaves this fall to my bins. But I'm curious to keep my eyes open and see what else I can add to the bins. And that being said, though, I'm not hearing what this person says and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it all wrong. I better do it all different. No, but I'm taking into consideration the science there. And I'm saying I'm still going to use a lot of paper. I've managed these bins for 5 years. This is the 5th year. And while I've had some struggles in the last year, I've also managed the bins, and I get a lot of castings. So, but that doesn't mean that I can't take into consideration the science, and that I should also do some more homework myself. So I'm going to continue to run the bins the way I do, but I'm going to add to that. I'm going to find ways to add more organic bedding, add more organic material to the bin. And yeah, just keep that in mind. So I really do appreciate that comment, and I hope we can continue the discussion. That being said, today with this bin, I'm just going to feed them. It's raining. I'm like, what does that sound? All right. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but as soon as we started messing around with the top at all here, I've seen a couple worms up top. And that's not something, this is one of the bins I had trouble with. I did have a die-off, but they're doing really well. I've seen breeding in cocoons last time, if I recall correctly. And I've found just the worms are more plentiful. You can kind of already see, they're up at the top. and in the corners. So they're all throughout. So far we're seeing not the very, very... we did have a couple at the top layer who snuck away. But there... we see this is way more oh. There's a breeding pair. Okay, so again, that's a really good sign. I feel bad disturbing them. We see there's a lot more broken down material. This half of the bin was harvested first. And it's kind of wet, but we got a lot of worms. It's very squishy down there. Let's see, but there's no standing water, and I don't think it's too wet. I think it's exactly what I want, especially for this bin. I would stir that up more, except for that breeding pair. All right. Like I said, I do kind of want to make this quicker. Now we've got excellent. Let's kind of mix some of this new stuff down in there. Just 'cause. All right, great. It's looking great. So I gotta just keep telling myself today we're not, I think I fed in the middle. Today, well, we don't need to dig up the bin super crazy like. This was the newer side, fully harvested. This is an avocado pit. Just go ahead and... there's not as many worms in the newer material, but there are some. So that's good. I believe we harvested last time too. Harvested this side. Sorry, I was... okay. I forgot that I was going to start taking notes prior to coming into the bin for the week. Perhaps I'll do that for the other ones, but obviously this one I won't. And also seeing exactly what I fed. I saw the edge of a cabbage leaf, so I remember we sort of had a cabbage leaf taco. That's what we're going to see right here. Ooh, this might be fun to see. And remember, this is a recovering population. It's been recovering for some time now, but I was going to lift the leaf up. Well, actually, I think I will, because I want to see. I want to see below it, and there are 2 leaves. And there was, guys, there was food. Other food items in that leaf, those leaves. And we got worms down here. It's good and wet. I don't think I'm going to stir the middle up any more than this. Those are tomato skins. There are tomato skins, I'm saying. Lots of worms down in here. This is awesome. Really encouraging to see. Okay. Here's some beans, green beans, overly ripe green beans. So that's all the fluffing we're going to do today, guys. And in fact, I might just add a little bit more of the top material down in there. We'll put this, okay. Let's have a look at our cabbage leaf. Evidence of what we fed with the cabbage. Tiny little worm party. Well, a big worm party for this bin. And look, this is the VIP room. Cool. Yay. Do we feed in there? Guys, do we feed in the cabbage leaf again? Do we just keep feeding in the same spot? No, I think not. Maybe I'll put a moldy pepper. I'll put a little bit. And some okra. Okay, so we'll put a little bit in there. I don't usually feed like that in the same spot, but I kind of like the taco idea. Hopefully, if they don't, they'll move. All right, let's come into the new zone. Okay, we'll feed down in there, and we've got half an apple. We got some more beans. I'm going to crunch them up so that they're break down faster, hopefully, because I've seen them kind of last a while in other bins. Tomato, another pepper. How big should we go? How big should we go? Now, let's spread it out more. Let's think about spreading it out more to make up for the very large amount of carbon. So let's add some of the new stuff down in the pit. And these guys are gonna get. Yep, I did it. I fed them a lot. A couple of small peppers, cucumber, a piece of bread, and several small peppers. I know, this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, cover this up. Sort of. Did I overdo it, guys? Do you think I overdid it? I'm a little bit thinking I overdid it for this population. I was a little too excited that they're doing so well. Okay. And because this is more of a new bin, the not new as in brand new, but new material, I'm going to worm blanket. So instead of adding new material to the feeding zone, I dumped new material from the top of the bin, so that's newer, down into the feeding zone. And then I'm going to top off with newly shredded paper. It's nice and wet. I won't do this every single time, but I'm doing it this time. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I will give these guys for sure a week. I'm going to lean more towards 9 days. If today is the 24th, then we're into, dang. Wow, we got 6 days left of September. What? Okay. So like the 3rd of October, we'll be back in here. I think the bread's still going to be there. But I think there's going to be remnants of the peppers. As in, they'll be mushy and soft and they'll still have their skin and a little bit of the meat. But I think they'll be more broken down than not. I think the tomatoes will be just down to their skins. I think there still might be some remnants of beans. I think it's going to be 80%. That feeding, 80%, 75% if we want to knock 5% off for that piece of bread, even though the bread accounts for more than 5%. But 75 to 80%. Most 3/4 of that feeding are going to be gone. Even though, yes, you guys can do it. You can do it. Thank you for your time. Let me know in the comments, please, what you think. And I'll see you back in here in 8 or 9 days. Bye for now. Be safe. Be well. I said that wrong. Be safe. Be well. Bye for now.